In class 11 business studies, we are on the chapter 2 forms of business organization, and in that chapter we are on the topic joint stock companies, and today I am going to explain you merits and demerits of joint stock company. Already I explained you about the features and meaning of the joint stock company, and today we will discuss merits and demerits of joint stock companies. So, children, look at the screen. Merits of joint stock companies. Yesterday, I explained you the features of joint stock company. Now, today we will discuss what are the benefits a person or an organization can get who is having joint stock company. First of all, limited liability. Limited liability, yesterday I also discussed this point with you that the public may be encouraged to invest in the shares of a company because of limited liability. I already discussed with you that in the form of sole proprietor and partnership, all have unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means the personal property will also be utilized to pay off the debts. But here, in that case, the all shareholders have all. See, in HUF, Karta has unlimited liability, but others co-partners have unlimited. But here, this is the major benefit we can get as a shareholder or investor, that we have limited liability. That's why public may be encouraged to invest in the shares of a company because of limited liability. Then transfer of shares. Transfer of shares means first, shareholders can easily transfer their share. I can sell my shares, you can buy, you can also sell them, someone else will buy, easily transfer. See, in partnership that is not possible. With the consent of all the partners, they can transfer. But here in joint stock companies, it's easy. The investors are attracted to purchase the shares of the company as it can be converted into cash, cash equivalent. At any time, you can buy or sell the shares easily without any problem. Transfer of shares. See, if I am a shareholder in a company, if I want to sell these shares, I can sell in the stock exchange, in the share market. If I want to buy the shares of the company, it's very easy to buy them. But my dear children, look, it is not possible in partnership, in HUF. You cannot sell your part to someone else without the consent of anyone. But in joint stock company, it's very easy. You can sell your shares, you can buy the shares, whatever you want to do about your part of shares, you can do. The next thing, perpetual existence. Yesterday, I also explained you this feature. This is merit also. Company will continue to exist. Even all the members die because they have separate entity. It can be liquidated as per the provision of Companies Act 2013. But my dear children, see, company will continue to exist even if all the members die. Perpetual existence. This feature is all only present in company. Sole proprietor, partnership don't have perpetual existence. Death, sickness, insanity, imprisonment can break the business, can close the business, can discontinue the business. But here in joint stock company, they have perpetual existence. Perpetual existence means they will continue their business. Then next is scope for expansion. Issue of shares. A company can accumulate large amount of capital. It has greater scope for expansion. See, my dear children, I am giving you example. Tata, Birla, Ambani, Adani has more scope for expansion than a small businessman. Why they have more scope for expansion? Because they can issue shares, they can collect money from the public, they have more sources. So if you want to expand your business, if you want to collect large amount of capital, you want to increase your resources, then the joint stock company form is suitable. Then professional management. See, my dear children, the management of the company is through work control through, yesterday I explained you, control through board of directors, and they can appoint professionally qualified workers, staff, managers, because they are able to afford the high salary which we can't, which small businesses can't. So they have professional management, they can appoint qualified workers, qualified managers, those who will give them better ideas, innovative ideas. That's why they can, how they can appoint the professionally qualified management? Because they are able to pay the high salaries, so they will get higher qualified persons. Now we will discuss. See, today's topic is merits of joint stock company, and first merit is limited liability. All the members, all the shareholders have limited liability, means their personal property will not be taken. Their personal property will not be utilized to pay off their debts. Then transfer of shares. The shares of the company can be converted into cash or cash equivalent any time. You can buy or sell in whatever quantity, whatever company share you want. So the transfer of shares is easy. Okay, it's on the wish of the shareholder, they can transfer it. Then perpetual existence, company will not stop. Company will continue, either all the members die. Yes, death, sickness, insanity, retirement will not affect the company's performance. Then scope for expansion. Issue of shares, a company can accumulate large amount of capital. Professionally qualified workers they can appoint. They can appoint professionally qualified employees easily. Then limitations of joint stock company. There are some limitations also. First limitation is difficulty in formation. Difficulty in formation means it is difficult to form, to establish. Tushar Arora, note down the notes. It is difficult to form the company because it requires many formalities. Anuj Sharma, I will remove you, beta. Don't off your video, please. And don't try to spoil the screen because we can see the name here. Difficulty in formation, various formalities are required to form the company, to make a company. Then next, lack of secrecy. See, public companies should publish their accounts. They have to show how much profits they are earning, how much asset and liabilities they are having. They have to submit the report to the registrar of the companies, and they have to publish the report timely. So there is no secrecy. They cannot keep confidentiality anyhow. They have to show all the workings to the public. Okay, so that is the problem they will face, lack of secrecy. Then impersonal work environment. The large size of company makes it difficult to maintain personal contact with the employees, customers, and creditors. The work environment is impersonal. How it is impersonal? See, we invest in the company. I can give you my example. I invested in various companies, Mahindra, Reliance, and various companies are there, Wipro, Infosys, but the owners don't know about me. I also don't know about the owners, and the directors are separate, working staff is separate. See, the employees are different, customers are also different, investors are also don't know about each other. So the work environment is impersonal generally. Then various rules, guidelines, law, audit process, various code of conduct, reviews means standards, compliances. It is necessary to audit the company form, filing of reports to the registrar of the company, statutory meetings, AGM means annual general meetings, obtaining certificate from registrars, obtaining certificate from SEBI. Okay, what is the full form of SEBI? Securities and Exchange Board of India. So we can say the company organization is difficult to form because it requires various regulations, various rules, and it is not easy to form a company. Okay, because various long process to fill up the laws, fill the details, you have to various documents also. I can tell you yesterday also I explained you various documents like article of association, memorandum of association, prospectus, various documents are necessary to first fill up. So various rules they have to follow. Delay in decision making. Generally, the joint stock company face this problem because they, for any decision, they have to get consent from the directors, first of all. Those, so the board of directors will decide what the decision they have to take. And the major decisions they have to take in AGM or with the consent of shareholders. So first they have to inform to others, directors and shareholders, then they conduct the meeting. So it's difficult for them. Then next new term is for you, oligarchic management. Oligarchic means ruled by few. Same in the company. You can see the example of Reliance. We invested there in the company. We are buying their products, but ruled by few. I am sure you must agree. Ruled by Ambani family. Same here. In other forms of company also, in other companies also. Oligarchic means ruled by few. The control is in the hands of few people. Only in the hands of directors or promoters, who may ignore the interest of the shareholders. They will not think about the shareholders. So ruled by few. Then next, conflicts, disputes. Conflicts between the management and shareholders may adversely affect the progress of the company. Conflicts means disputes or disagreement on any opinion, that maybe adversely affect the progress of the company. Like you can see in Tata earlier, the director was not agree with the promoter and they have some disputes which may be suffered by the others and which may be the reason of company's progress. So today we discuss the limitations of joint stock company. See, I am telling you what are the limitations of joint stock company. Difficulty in formation, complex formality, it is not easy to form or wind up the company. Lack of secrecy, they cannot keep any confidential information, they have to express, they have to explain, they have to show all the profits, losses and about the details of the company. Then impersonal work environment, we don't know about each other, even we invested our amount there, then also Chirag Vijay, noted down. Then also we don't know about the management of the company. The work environment is impersonal. The directors don't know about the investors. The management don't know about the employees and all other outsiders. The next is various rules, regulations, guidelines, laws, formalities of audits, meetings, etc. The decision is generally delayed. Decision delayed due because they have to conduct the meetings. They have to take consent permission from the shareholders. Like I am giving you one example. Like a company wants to expand, they want to launch a new product, or they want to open a new branch, or they want to take a crucial decision for the company, then what they will do? First, they will conduct the meeting. Okay, means a director wants to retire or a new director you want to make. Then it's difficult to take the decision alone. You have to conduct the meeting, the consent from all the directors, and if the decision is very crucial to declare the dividend or not, for bonus shares, means the crucial decisions are to be taken with the consent of all the directors and shareholders, and they have to conduct the meeting. That's why their decision may be delayed. Then the management is oligarchic. Oligarchic means the whole control of the organization is in the hands of few people only. They will think about their betterment. Then next is conflicts of interest, means they have some disputes, conflicts on any topic. Then, my dear children, I'm sure today you understood the topic joint stock company, merits and demerits of joint stock company,